Hello and welcome to GCS Today here on Channel 21, the program that brings you news and information from Gaston County Schools. I'm Todd Higgins. On today's episode, we talk with Gaston Early College High School student Najira Davis about her role as the Student Government Association president at Gaston College. And two of our teachers share what it is like for them and their students in the remote learning environment. Joining me on GCS Today is Najira Davis. She is a student at the Gaston Early College High School and also is serving this year as the Student Government Association president for Gaston College. We also have with us Josh Allen, who is the principal of the Gaston Early College High School. Thank you both for being with us here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Najira, we will begin with you and tell us a little bit about the process of being elected president of the Student Government Association at Gaston College. Why did you want to run for this position?
Well, the process, it was pretty straightforward. We just had to fill out an application first, and there's types of questions on there like the one you asked, why did I want to be president? And so you just fill out that application, and then after the application process, we Miss Renita, our advisor, calls you in for an interview, and then you go from there. And so I did get elected. I'm very excited to be serving as president this year, especially with everything that's going on, because I feel like it gives me the opportunity to help students still have a good school year amidst all the chaos.
And Najira, talk a little bit about what the SGA, that's the abbreviation for Student Government Association. What does the SGA president do? And what would you like to accomplish this year to help other students?
Well, as president, I just have to stay on top of all the events we're having. As student government president, I also am a part of the board of trustees. And so I go to those meetings and we talk about the budgeting for Gaston College and new programs that they're bringing and other things that they want to start bringing to our school. And so I sit on that board and then I just listen to all the information and then I can take it back and pass it on to students who may have not looked at the meeting and stuff. And so I just make sure that all the students have all the information. And then also a lot of students don't know, but Student Government Association is also like a part of the government side, but they see a lot of the events because we do have like a lot of events where we pass out candy and stuff like that. And so a lot of students just think that it's about that, but it's a lot more because the government side, and if a student like has a problem, then they could come talk to us. And then whenever I go to the Board of Trustees meeting, if a lot of students are having that same problem, then I can tell them like, a lot of students are having these issues, and then we can talk about it and see what we can do to help them.
It certainly is a great leadership opportunity for you there on the Gaston College campus. Mr. Allen, what is your reaction to having one of your students serving as the SGA president at Gaston College?
I remember when I discovered that Najira had been elected as the SGA president, and I was so excited. I immediately sent Najira an email congratulating her, and even reached out to her mom as well because it's such an achievement. Certainly something we're proud of Najira for. This is actually the third time that a Gaston Early College High School student has been the president of the Gaston College SGA. So it's certainly a path that has been trailblazed before, and we are very proud to continue to have Gaston Early College High School students fill these leadership roles for the college.
And so that our viewers know, the Gaston Early College High School is located on the Gaston College campus in Dallas. And because of that, your students are able to be a part of the college community.
Yes, sir, that's correct. Our students are high school students with Gaston County Schools, and they are also community college students through Gaston College. That's part of the partnership with the early college agreement here. And so as a result of that, the fact that they are college students, they are allowed to participate in any and all activities and programs that Gaston College has for them.
Now, what do you say to students to get them involved in the college campus, in college life, and to get them involved in organizations like the SGA?
We really try to foster the partnership that exists between the high school side of things and the community college side of things. And so we encourage students like Najira and others to get involved in SGA, to get involved in the math club and other clubs that the college has, to take advantage of the college experience. That's one of the things that our students are here for, is to try to get a leg up on the college experience. And so while they are here, we encourage them to get as involved as they can in the community college opportunities that they have for them. And to that point, not only is Najira the president of the Gaston College SGA, we also, our students at the early college, fill every other executive position with Gaston College's SGA. We have the vice president, the secretary, the treasurer. Every senator seat is made up this year of a Gaston Early College high school student. And that is the first time that that has happened in the history of our partnership with Gaston College. We are very proud of our students and their involvement with the college.
I think that says a lot about the early college program and really giving young people an opportunity to experience college life there on the campus in Dallas. Najira, what do you enjoy most about this leadership opportunity, and what are your friends saying to you about being the SGA president?
Well, the last time I hung out with my friends, she said, "Oh, so you're Gaston College famous now?" And I was just like, "Well, I guess so." But I really like this opportunity because, like you said, it is a great leadership opportunity. While being a part of SGA, it has helped me grow so much as a leader because we also have workshops like with our team. And so we do little leadership workshops and we talk about how we can do things to be a better leader and how to be a better person and also how to work better with others. And so I think that that's a really good opportunity because it gives us a chance to learn skills while we're still young so that we have them when we get older.
And Najira, talk to us a little bit about your future plans, maybe where you would like to go to college beyond Gaston College, or what career choice that you were thinking about.
I'm planning to go to Eastern Carolina. I want to study nursing and then I want to get my master's to become a midwife.
And I know that East Carolina's got a great program in the medical field and the health sciences field. So that is an excellent choice for you once you complete your studies at Gaston College. And I think it's important for people to realize that when you graduate from the Gaston Early College High School, not only will you have your high school diploma, but you have opportunities to receive an associate degree from Gaston College.
Yes, and that is one thing I like about this program the most because it cuts off so much of my time that I would have had to spend at the four-year university because I already have that associate's degree. And so for me, that's a good plus because at the same time, I'm only 18 years old. And so I'll be finishing early and I get into my career earlier. And I think that will be really like rewarding.
And Mr. Allen, the early college, that is what is so unique about the early college, is that it gives high school students an opportunity to complete their high school requirements, but also pursue college courses and college degrees. How important is it for people to know that the early college offers this unique opportunity for students in our community?
I think it's incredibly important to know that we exist and that we offer students this opportunity. One of the target students that we have as a prospective student is a first generation college student. And there are a lot of those in our community. And so one of the purposes of our program is to target those students and give them an opportunity to be the first one in their family to graduate with a college degree from a community college here like Gaston College. And so for the community to understand that this program exists and that this is a real viable option for their children to consider if they do, like Najira, want to get a leg up and get started early down the road, and to do so completely for free. It's a great opportunity, and we certainly wanted to publicize that as much as we can.
Mr. Allen, what do you think is most impressive about Najira? What makes her a great student and a great leader?
Najira is real. That's what really impresses me the most about her. She has a real story to tell of her own journey through leadership and journey through our program. And she can share the hurdles that she had along the way and the successes that she had along the way. She's easy to connect with. Her peers can certainly see her as a role model who has been there and done that, and has come out on the other side very positively. And so she has that real story to tell. She is not afraid to take on new challenges. And because of the realness and her desire to continue to push herself, she is a wonderful example of a student leader for Gaston Early College High School and for Gaston College's SGA program.
Najira, do you see yourself ever wanting to run for an office beyond SGA president?
I'm not sure, but since I'm starting that nursing early, if I retire, maybe I'll run for president.
You're not going to stop at city council or state senate. You're going all the way to the presidency. I love to hear that. Love to hear that. Mr. Allen, in your role as principal at the early college, what do you enjoy most about your job, and what do you enjoy most about seeing the success of your students?
We are a small school on purpose, and the purposefulness of that is so that the staff who work at this school, both the teachers and the student support staff, can really get involved in all levels of student life. And having been a teacher at one of our traditional high schools, larger traditional high schools in the school system for 12 years, I understand what it's like to be a cog in that large wheel. And now I understand what it's like to be a cog in a smaller wheel, and the difference that you can have in students' lives as a result of the smaller size school. And so I enjoy being the principal here, that I get to know every single student here, and I can call them out by name as they come out of their cars in the mornings and off the school buses in the mornings. I can walk into their classes and have conversations with them, know their strengths and weaknesses as a learner, and develop a relationship with them as they matriculate through our program here. It's something that I'm very actually fond of, the fact that I do get to be as involved as I am as the principal here at Gaston Early College High School.
Josh Allen is the principal at the Gaston Early College High School. We appreciate everything that you are doing for the early college program. It is an awesome program, and we certainly encourage students to maybe thinking about applying to the early college to do so. And Najira, we want to congratulate you on being elected the Student Government Association president for Gaston College. What a wonderful opportunity for you, and we are so proud of you to see that you are experiencing leadership and that you are experiencing success. And we wish you all the best in the future. And we want to thank both of you for joining us today here on GCS Today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look, Joining me on GCS today, we have two of our teachers who are teaching virtually this year. We have Katelin Greer and we have Kim Brooks. Thank you both for being with us here today on GCS Today.
Hi, it's nice to be here.
Katelin, let's begin with you. How is it going with remote learning?
It was definitely an adjustment from not having students physically in my classroom. However, as the weeks have gone by, the students are becoming more tech savvy. I'm becoming more tech savvy, and it's definitely something that I do enjoy. So the kids are engaged, and I think they're enjoying virtual learning.
Now, Katelin, in a normal school year, you would be a teacher at Hawks Nest STEAM Academy, and Kim, you would be at Robinson Elementary, but this year, both of you are teaching through our virtual academy, the Gaston Virtual Academy, for students who are in school totally online. So, Kim, you work with kindergartners. What has it been like working with our youngest students learning virtually?
It has been an absolute joy. You know, when I first got started, as Katelin said, you get more tech savvy as you go through this, and the kindergartners do too. And a lot of kindergartners come in already tech savvy. You know, I would see that in a brick and mortar classroom. I do see that in my virtual learning classroom as well. They are very engaged in what they're doing. They're making connections with each other socially and emotionally. We do a lot of activities to help with their social and emotional development, as well as their academics. And they are so engaged. They are loving it. They're talking to one another just as if they were almost next to them in the classroom. And they're noticing things that kindergartners notice when you're together in a brick and mortar classroom. So it has been a great journey so far.
And you make an interesting point that kindergartners probably know more about technology than the adults do.
Yes, they are not having problems. And of course, we are so thankful to our kindergarten parents who are there to help and be supportive and help their children, navigate that Chromebook and navigate the different programs that we use, Schoology, Seesaw, Jamboard. So that, I cannot thank our parents enough too, because we could not teach kindergarten virtually without that parent support and family support.
And Katelin, let's talk about your virtual classroom. What are you doing to make it interesting and engaging and fun for students?
So I've been using Edpuzzle a lot for science and social studies, which allows the kids, as they're watching a video, to stop and pause and reflect. And that's helped keep engagement because the kids love watching Bill Nye or other videos on Edpuzzle, as well as using Discovery Education. The kids can do activities that are drag and drop or see videos of rocks and minerals. And so while I'm showing it to them, they can also watch something that they would see on Discovery. Something that I did for my students was I mailed them packages that had a whiteboard, a dry erase marker, and eraser. So for math and really any assignment that we're submitting on Schoology or Seesaw, they can show their whiteboard to me. And it makes it very easy when teaching multiplication and division to see their work on a whiteboard than them having to toggle with something online. So just trying to keep it also like they would do in class. The kids have really enjoyed showing me their work, taking pictures of it, and being able to write down the math problem and not just rely on what's on the computer.
Kim, the transition from in-person instruction to remote learning certainly was a challenge for a lot of us because it's something that we are not necessarily accustomed to. So how did you prepare to, as a teacher, going from the in-person environment to the virtual environment?
I really reflected on, where we were last year in March and what we did from March until the end of that school year and what worked, what didn't work. We were all learning that process together. And over the summer, I thought there is going to be, a possibility that we are going to have some aspect of virtual learning environment for kindergarten. Just as we do with the cohort A and B, they're still doing remote learning as well. So I knew I was going to need to be prepared to teach in that way. So I began putting a lot of my instruction and curriculum on Google Slides so that I can have those visuals for my students, share my screen with them. So if we're learning about a letter, for example, I take our Lucy Calkins phonics program and take our anchor charts, and we put those on Google Slides. So the students still have access to all of the anchor charts and all the learning materials that we would be presenting paper-based in the classroom. We put that on a Google Slide for the students. Books, read alouds, anything that I have basically that I want students to really focus on, I put in a Google Slide. And then I can easily share that in a presentation or a recording with the students. So I did a lot of preparation in that aspect. And then I looked at Seesaw was something that I've been using for 4 years. It always works well in the classroom, and it bridges that home school connection. Students can use Seesaw at home too. So I knew that I was definitely going to use Seesaw. So I began researching ways of what are some best practices in using Seesaw, what are some activities that I could use and gather and make and create so that I could have my students be successful in all their academic areas through using the Seesaw Learning Journal as well. And I had to learn some more technology like Jamboard, which has become one of my favorite tools to use with my students. I had to teach myself and watch lots of videos on how to use that technology, but the students have just started loving it, where I can send out our attendance for the day, and it has all their names on there, like on a little Post-it note. All the students are in the document together. They're moving their names if they're here to not here, and it's great to see.
Katelin, what is a resource that you have been using that you feel like has really helped to make this transition from in-person to remote successful for you and also for your students?
So I'm using a tripod and an iPad to teach math lessons. So for me, I come to school and I'm still teaching, or if I had a whiteboard, but I'll turn on my iPad, and sometimes the clarity can be a little bit better than using a computer. So I'll have that set up and I'm just standing at my board like I would if they were in the classroom. The kids are also using extensions called Nod and adding it to their Google Meets, and they can raise their hand, they can put a thumbs up, a thumbs down. So it's good for the kids that like talking and showing their face on screen, and then those that are a little more shy, they can still engage using those different extensions. But trying to keep it as normal as possible for them when I'm doing lessons, just like they would see in the classroom. And that kind of keeps things engaging because they're used to seeing that.
And Katelin, we have heard both sides of the argument about remote and virtual learning, the positives and the negatives. So do your students enjoy remote learning?
I've gotten several messages from parents saying how much their kids love remote learning. They work hard for me because we've built a relationship. And so I think when you build those relationships, and that social emotional connection is so important, even in the virtual world. And, you know, the kids will notice you got your hair done, just like they do if you're in the real world. Or if your hair doesn't look great, they're going to tell you. So I think that just building that connection with them. On Fridays, I love to have time for the kids to just be in their own Google Meets. They're talking gaming. They played chess last Friday. And they're able to connect and talk about things other than school. And I think that's what also makes it more enjoyable for them. In morning meeting, I always get on early and they'll get on and I just let them talk. I'm just observing. And it's really great to see, you know, kids that don't know each other in person have made friendships in the virtual world. And that to me says everything about the culture that you have in the virtual classroom. Of course, having kids in my room would be ideal, but honestly, the way that these kids have adapted and the way that we've all connected online, it's been really wonderful for my class.
And Kim, you have kindergarten students. So those students started their educational journey online and in a virtual setting. What have you done to make sure that your kindergartners adjusted well to an online learning environment?
And like Katelin said, we really, and I think we can speak for most of our teachers that are teaching in the Gaston Virtual Academy, we want to create a learning experience that is similar to what they would experience in the classroom. So that was my goal in preparing, is how can I make this as much like the regular classroom as we can. So we do our morning meeting too as well. And you can see the kids, I mean, they're greeting each other, they know each other's names. And like Katelin said, they notice when somebody's hair looks different, and they're noticing all the same things that they notice when they're in the regular classroom. And it's really important too that keeping things the same. We do celebrations every Friday. So we're doing a letter celebration tomorrow. They're going to bring something that starts with the letters that we're working on. We also have done a storybook celebration where we take our favorite storybook that we've read that week, and then we read caps for sale one week. And so they all wore their favorite caps. So keeping those special days, those special celebrations. And we still do a lot of STEAM-based activities within our kindergarten virtual classroom. So what is great about that, and I've had the most positive feedback from my parents, is the kids love the hands-on activities, and all kindergartners and all learners, even K-12, love to be hands-on. So we've had great feedback. I've had great feedback about the hands-on activities that we've been doing. We do a choice board just about every week for the students based on the standards that we're teaching. So we've been doing force and motion. So the kids have been learning about pushing and pulling. And so we send out a choice board. You can make a maze, you can make a marble run, however you want to do it. Well, they only have to do one a week if they want to, but some kids are posting pictures of and videos of their mazes and their marble runs every day, which is really cool to see. And it helps them to work on their force and motion standard as well. Shapes. We've been learning about shapes in math. So we did a shape choice board. You can paint your shapes. You can cut shapes out and make a picture. You can use straws. So we still try to keep, Play-Doh. We still try to keep those hands-on activities a big part of our weekly curriculum to really, because that's what kindergartners love. And that is something that you could leave out in a virtual setting, but we really try to make a part of our curriculum to have that choice board in there every week for the students to do as well.
Let's turn to parents. The online learning certainly is an adjustment for parents as well, because parents do feel like that they take on the role of teacher at home. So, Kim, what advice have you given to your parents to help make remote learning less stressful and more productive?
One of the biggest concerns that I heard at the beginning when we were getting started and I was meeting individual with families is, I'm concerned that my child's not going to be able to sit. I'm concerned that my child's not going to be able to focus. And a lot of reassuring to the families that we were going to design this in a way to make it developmentally appropriate for students where we weren't requiring them to sit for long periods of time. But we know kindergartners are wiggly. This happens in your classroom and it happens, virtual as well. And it's okay. Letting parents know it's okay if you need to do alternative seating, let them sit, let them stand. And really, we also talked about, I sent out materials for setting up a classroom at home, trying to find a little space at home where you can set up a classroom where you have our alphabet chart. And I sent them the alphabet chart, just different charts and materials that we would use throughout the year. I sent to them so they could create a little space where the child kind of knows, this is my school space, this is my learning space, to give them that routine. And that routine and schedule is very important. We keep the same routine and schedule every day. And I meet with my students every day in small groups as well as live sessions. And so I encourage my parents to, when they're not meeting with me, that maybe they work on some of those activities that have been assigned to them in Schoology on their playlist and things like that, and really have a schedule for how you want to do things, because kids work really well, especially kindergarten students, when they have that schedule for them. And then maybe too, having a background that's not too distracting to other students that may be on the other side of the camera as well. Those have been my biggest points of advice and some of the concerns that parents had expressed.
And Katelin, in your online environment, what have you said to parents to help them to ease the stress and the frustration of online learning? Because it really is a new experience for all of us.
So even when I have kids in the classroom, I over communicate with parents. But in the virtual world, I really over communicate with parents, because I feel like the more information I can give them, the less stress they feel. I also communicate the same thing to the students. Being in fourth grade, a lot of the students, they can walk their parents through different things. And I think explaining to parents that their child knows so much, and when the kids start taking the autonomy to show their parents, it makes a huge difference, because before the parents come to me, they go to their student. Telling parents that I always tell the kids to send me a message on Schoology first. And if I can't answer their question or I don't get to it in time, then they can ask a parent. But just like if they were in school, I encourage them to message me on Schoology, on Seesaw. If you have questions, this is your time to ask. I've had several students send me a message and it's 1:30. And while we're not having live sessions, they'll ask if they can meet. And I'm like, sure, let's set up a meet time for us to get on. So really making yourself available and those students know that they can come to you takes the stress off of parents, because the parents know that I'm always available for those students during the day if they need me. But over communicating is something that I have stressed. I think the parents have reached out and they've told me they appreciate me telling them more, sending videos of how to. So everything that I send home is normally connected to a video, because some are more visual, and it walks them step by step what this looks like on their end. And that definitely alleviates a lot of the stress and questions that would come my way.
Katelin, your classroom, whether it is virtual or in person, what do you love most about being a teacher?
The connections. I mean, the kids, they just make you laugh. I told the kids today, my job would be so boring if they weren't here. And they share their stories. They ask how my day is going. And it's just having that connection and laughter in the classroom. And there's several times I joke with them that, if some of their cameras are off, I'm talking to dots. And today I said, well, I'm just going to wear a dot on my face next time we're in person, and then you'll get to talk to the dot. And so just making jokes with them gets them excited. And they want that. They want that engagement with their teacher beyond what I'm teaching them. And if they know you as a person and things that you like or you don't like, they're going to bring it up and mention it in a lesson.
And Kim, I know in your classroom, whether you are in person or this year online, you try to do everything you can to build that foundation for learning that students are supposed to experience in kindergarten.
Yes, the foundation is very important. Getting them excited about learning, which again, I feel like we are able to do that through the virtual environment as well. And, seeing that their growth and development, even already within the virtual environment with working on those foundational skills in kindergarten, has been amazing to see. It's a true joy.
Katelin Greer and Kim Brooks, two of our virtual teachers this year amid the coronavirus pandemic. We appreciate everything that you are doing to help deliver quality instruction for students in the online environment. And we appreciate you taking time to be with us here today on GCS Today. Thank you for watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. Before we go, we would like to remind everyone that Gaston County Schools has a number of outstanding school choice and magnet school programs for students. Our school choice programs are centered around 6 academy areas that focus on careers, college prep, health sciences, leadership, public service, and technology and engineering. Be sure to visit our website to learn more about the school choice options that are available for the upcoming school year. Stay tuned to Channel 21 for the latest news and information from Gaston County Schools. For GCS Today, I'm Todd Higgins. We look forward to seeing you next time.